Welcome, Daniel, to Metallarian Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about Total Annihilation, this new album, Mountains of Madness, and more things related to the metal world in general. So we started by asking, how are you doing today, and how is the band during the last 6 years? Because your previous albums, A Change of Doom, was releasing in 2020.
Yeah, hi, and thank you very much for that interview. Actually, I'm very fine today because it's I didn't have to go to work today. I was free, and also today is the release day of our of said album.
Mhm.
So we're very happy that it's finally out. Yeah, it was 6 years since the previous album, and as you probably know, the global pandemic made it impossible to do the proper promotion for the previous album. So we jumped relatively uh, again to the songwriting for the new material for the new album. But it took a little bit longer because we wanted to work on some details of the new songs a lot more. And also we were looking for the proper label and everything. So originally it was planned for last year to release the album, but we decided to change it to the beginning of 2026 because we also have 20 years anniversary in this year. So we thought it would be a perfect start to start the anniversary year by releasing the new album. Yeah.
Okay. Well, interesting. So now that's you're right on this one. 2026 marks 2 decades of total annihilation. So how does it feel to reach this milestone with your fourth album? And how do you feel the band's sound has evolved since your early days, Basil, back in 2006, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Our style changed a lot. It got definitely more aggressive, more brutal, and it got definitely faster than the first albums we put out back in the days. Yeah, we every one of us personally as well as musicality evolved over the years. Listened to a lot of other stuff, and yeah, we put all these personal and musical influences together, and yeah, you see the outcome with the new album, and we are absolutely happy with it, how it turned out. You can hear a lot of influences from death metal and thrash metal, even in some parts a little bit black metal. And yeah, it's a wild mixture. It's definitely a brutal bastard of fast and brutal sound. Yeah.
Mm, okay. I understand completely about this. So now, the album title clearly reference for H.P. Lovecraft, so At the Mountains of Madness. While Lovecraft is a staple in metal, so you mentioned this album isn't just escapism, but a manifesto about the state of world. So how do you bridge cosmic work with the real world moral disgust?
Yeah, I think a lot of these can refer to the unknown and darkness that lives in every one of us, and also, of course, in the today's world and economic and everything. Um, and the humanity tend to want to know everything and want to get hands on everything, and we think we thought. Especially the story with Mountains of Madness, where they dug deep into the unknown and darkness, fits pretty well to today's society. And yeah, it's of course not that extremely cosmic horror we built in our lyrics and in the album, because it's just a title track that refers to the H.P. Lovecraft novel. But yeah, with the story, you can play a lot with the symbolic and the album cover. Yeah, the album cover turned out pretty well, with the dark theme and the overall depth. So
Okay. Now, talking about a little more for these Mountains of Madness, it's been revealed that the central melodic line in Beneath the Cross was written by Jürgen Schmidt. So when he was only 12 or 15 years old. So why was now the right time to finally use this at specific piece of music?
I think if you listen to the whole song, you can see that the song is has very special details. It's not that straightforward from from the beginning to the end. So I think he took this melody to put in the song because it's one of the most don't know how to say it. Let me just check. The whole song is very different. It has a lot of special details, and so I think he put it in there to give even more of some specialties to this song. Yeah, he is now 48 years old, and I think 30 years ago wrote this melody. It took a lot of time, and I think he just had the perfect time to put it in the song on the new album.
Okay. Other song that captured my attention is the track Illusion. It's reportedly and only 6 seconds long. So, what was the intent behind such a brief, like grinding outburst in the middle of that trash record or that trash record?
Um, yeah, I think it refers back to the actual society we live in and the anger and hate towards so much stuff that's bad happening at the moment, that we needed that actually 9 second outburst of brutality to focus and put all our hate and anger in one simple breath. I think it was actually when we recorded the song, it was actually for most of us, it was a one take. So it was take one breath and let out all the anger and hate that's in today's world. So yeah, I think we nailed that pretty well. I'm looking forward to bring this song to the stage and see the reaction of the crowd, actually.
Okay. So now talking about more another song for this, the video for Art of Torture was your first visual drop from this cycle. So how involved were you in the art direction, and how does the visual torture imagery tied to the album's broader themes of human destruction?
Yeah, it's since the beginning of mankind, humanity looking and tries ways to torture people for so many reasons. It's the torture itself to get some information, or torture someone to keep the people low. Yeah, it's a topic that still didn't change over the course of the time of the humanity. For the visualization, we had a lot of we spoke a lot about how we wanted to mix actual torture scenes with some kind of live performance or band performance. And Jürgen Schmidt has had a lot of cool ideas with the movie Hexen from beginning of 1920 or something, was this black and white film. Yeah, it was cool to see what we did with the combination of the band shots and the torture scenes.
Okay, I understand. So now I've been reading like a couple or like more than a couple reviews because from this album, Mountains of Madness, reviewers had noted that your sound on this record used hammer blast beats and a more direct, aggressive approach compared to your modern progressive trends like metalcore, alternative, etc., etc. So, what's staying true to old school energy and conscious rebellion against this current tech decked scene that we have now?
Yeah, it was definitely clear for us that we wanted to sound as old school as possible, but with the modern possibilities of recording. The times are gone when you just put out a Fisher Price recording tape and play everything in one take. But yeah, for us, it's important that we have this old school approach in our sound, because we think that the very popular mainstream modern outputs all quite are the same. So they have no very low dynamics in the sound itself. And I think what we did in the recording session and after that in the mix and mastering process is definitely our vision of how we wanted to sound. We also took a lot of time and effort before we went into the recording studio to work on the sound itself, on the bass and guitar sound. Yeah, and that was really important to us overall.
Okay. Other song that captured my attention is the Chose the Day because you feature Luca Pizzalonga on that album. So, what is his vocal style bring to the track that you felt was missing from the core lineup?
Um, Interesting question. I don't know. You know his work with Graupe and Vilios, the black metal bands. Are you familiar with them?
Yes,
Ah,
yes.
cool. So Luca is a very close friend to the band since many years. He was also involved in the two videos we did with Art of Touch and Beneath the Cross. Ultimately, that we wanted to include him on one of our songs and Choose the Day. But most likely, we wanted to do something new we didn't do in 20 years. We never had guest appearances on our albums. And actually, I can't remember who put up the idea to ask him to record some vocals with us for us. But yeah, his voice, this black metal screaming, absolutely put the song to the next level. Yeah, we were absolutely fine with the song before, but when the idea came up with him, we knew we could do just a little bit more getting out of the song in a whole with his guest vocals, and yeah, they fit perfectly into the song, in my opinion.
Okay. I completely understand. Now, talking about more the lineup and transitions of the band. So just before the album's release, you announced the departure of the longtime members like Dent in the bass and Schmidl in the guitar. So how has this affected by band's dynamic right as you prepared of the Mountains of Death's released show?
Mm. Yeah, it was quite a not so good time for the departure of these two guys. Um, but as a lot of things in life can change and do change really fast, it just happened, unfortunately. In the beginning, not in the beginning, for the preparation for the record release show, we are in a good place that we had 2 more months to go now. About 6 weeks to go, and yeah, it's very time consuming now to arrange everything for the release show. And yeah, puts it in the place that we now need to look for new members to join the band for future live activities. We have cool people who supports us for the upcoming shows. So we have to, but we have to prepare a lot. We have to rehearse more, etc., etc. Maybe change some things for the life situation. But yeah, that is something we will be able to manage for the release shows coming up. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, now, as you are, Daniel, the only founding member in the band, how do you feel your vision for the band has stayed the same, or perhaps fundamentally changed as you navigate these new chapters in the band?
I think there are no fundamentally changes. It's more like the natural evolution over the course of 20 years. I got older, I got better at singing, at shouting. My musical taste changed over these 20 years, as well as with other band members joined and left. Everyone put something into the Total Annihilation band as sound as you hear it today. So yeah, it's quite a natural evolvement. I think it's to put it in the perspective of vision. I think I don't want to focus too much on one vision itself. I will let the influences keep coming. Also from the other band members that are since many years on my side in the band. Yeah, everyone brings their inputs, and we as a unit transfer this to the musical state of the band.
Okay, okay, interesting, interesting. Now, in talking about other, but yes, more the promotion of this new album. So, what kind of promotion do you have for this album? I saw that you will play a show for presentation by the end of February, this album, and also perhaps you will embark some tours. You will do a first tour in Latin America, a full Latin American tour. Who knows? What kind of plans do you have for this new album, and obviously for the band?
Yeah, sure. The main goal is to bring the album to the stages. In a first approach, of course, in our home base in Europe. But yeah, we try to book a show for the end of the year, because now we have other stuff to check with new band members. But yeah, we toured last year with Anal Vomit from Peru, where they were cool guys, and we try to stay in contact with them. Maybe do someday come to South America. But for now, we only have a few shows planned around Switzerland, Germany, and yeah, let's see what comes more for this year. We really hope to not only promote the new album, of course, but also the 20-year anniversary is a big plan for us for this year. But yeah, the year is young, just started, and let's see what the year brings to us.
Okay, okay, okay. Now talking about more another kind of thing. So you've seen the base metal scene change since 2006. Who are some Basilics destroyers or local bands you feel are currently carrying the torch of the Swiss metal alongside now?
Yeah, the Basilisk Destroyers are a heavy metal fan club from our hometown, and Stick, Nikki, and I, the three remaining band members of Total Annihilation, are actually active in this club. I did the booking until 4 years ago when I stepped away from the booking duties. Yeah, they are absolutely cool for the underground. They are really supportive in a lot of aspects. Unfortunately, in our direct hometown, there is not really that much of underground bands coming up. But overall, in the Swiss scene, there are a lot of cool bands like Treffening. They do some really cool death metal. We have Xonor, some furious thrash metal, also from Switzerland. Yeah, I think 10, 15, 20 years ago, there were a lot more underground bands active. But today, there are not that many, unfortunately. But yeah, the support from the scene is definitely here, and that's very cool.
Okay, okay, okay. So now your record will release show in a Sud House Basel on February 28th. Is supported by Extreme Management Group. So what are the realistic goals for the band, for example, in tours related with this topic that will release it now?
I think I didn't understand the question right. Can you
Okay, okay.
repeat that?
So
Sorry.
don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. So okay, let's talk about another kind of things. Okay. Mountains of Madness is releasing, for example, is releasing now. So with LP, with CD, and even a cassette will release it into. So now in 2026, why is it still important for a band like Total Annihilation, sorry, to provide fans with a tangible raw product like cassette tape?
I think the cassette, especially, is a little bit for the diehard maniacs out there. I myself are collecting physical media as much as I can, as the money makes it possible. But I think the cassette just get a little bit of a revival because it's of course a physical media, not some streaming stuff, and you have something in your hand that's very special. You need special equipment to listen to it. So you are a lot more in contact with the music, in my opinion. I really enjoy it to put on a vinyl on the record player, listen to, read the inlay, look at the cover, find some more details, than just stream the stuff. I think with the craziness of the world, it's kind of you can slow down the pace and enjoy music on a more traditional way. Makes it feel that you are more connected to what you are listening. And so for us as Total Annihilation, who really like the old school approach, it's very important to put out physical media and give the audience and the fans the possibility to get something that they can hold in their hands.
Hmm. Okay, okay, okay. Now, so as you said, well, as I said, so you will release a release show for this February 28th for this new record, and also you are celebrating the 20 years of the existence of the band with this new album. And obviously, given the recent lineup changes and more things, so what can fans expect from the live performance in this presentation, with it perhaps with a guest musician, or perhaps any special anniversary surprises for these 20 years in the show?
Yeah, for the record release show in the end of February, the people definitely can expect a very unique combination of musicians. Um, I don't want to talk too much about who's going to join us. You will see once the show will take place. But yeah, I think that will be very unique to see other musicians on stage with us. Um, but one thing's for sure, it will definitely be a brutal show. Definitely, we're working a lot on the live performance until then, and it will be fantastic. Of course, if we talk about touring plans for later this year, I can say the fans always can expect a very close to the fan show. We provide also the energy we deliver from the stage to the audience.
Okay, okay. So now we're very close to this interview, Daniel. So you survived 20 years in the Swiss metal scene. So what is the biggest lesson the band has learned about the business of metal that you wish you know back in 2006?
Back in 2006, when we started the band, it was definitely all about, and most time only about the friendship between the band member, the time we spent together. One thing that's definitely changed is that approach that it only can work if you are absolutely close friends. It can definitely work. Some new people can join and you can get to know them and create some new friendships over the years. And I think it's the best approach overall is to not live too much in the past. Looking forward, put the best out of you as you can, and put everything into the band. Yeah, that's definitely an approach I learned over the years.
Okay, okay. And one of the last question as well. Switzerland was known very well in the past because we have Hellhammer, we have Celtic Frost, well, like great stones in the extreme metal. Especially those two bands are amazing for a lot of people, influence for a lot of bands. Then Switzerland disappeared with bands like that, like influence another ones. Well, yes, obviously we have more bands. We have Messiah. We have Total Annihilation. We have Illuviate. We have a lot of bands. But these kind of bands didn't influence like it would pass with Celtic Frost or Hellhammer in the past. It's like Switzerland in the 90s, 2000s disappeared from the metal scene completely, like not like Swedish scene, or like Denmark or like Finland, so etc. etc. So, what do you think? All now since this Celtic rock disappeared, now there will not appear so another milestone in a band in Switzerland. What happened with this situation? Perhaps it was the social things there, because I spoke with Thomas Gabriel about this topic, and they provide me information that like, the people in Switzerland like to accommodate with the money to economic topics. It's not the people. It's not like it's not needed to create music because it's like everything is good there. So it's not they, and according to them, you to need create music, you need needs about this, how to create music. You need needs and increased needs to create music. So what's your point of view about this now? Switzerland doesn't have this and a huge band now.
I think back in the 80s, Hellhammer and Celtic Frost had that absolutely big impact to the whole world, bringing Switzerland to the table of extreme music. and it was taken up by bands with Messiah and Corona that tried to be that influence maybe in the 90s. But yeah, it didn't work out. And yeah, you're right. In today's age, there are actually not that many bands from Switzerland that has that impact Hellhammer and Celtic Frost had back in the 80s. But I think with like bands Seal and Ardor, from a few years when they started with their special mix of music, they put the name Switzerland definitely on their international table again. But yeah, overall, I think maybe it doesn't need that much of a band anymore who has that influential capacity like Hellhammer and Celtic Frost, because it's very hard to bring something completely new to the table. And so yeah, I think that's it, because every one of us has other main influences. The influences changed over the year, and yeah, you can't create that stuff of new like they did back in the 80s, because there were nothing for them, and now every possible thing is already on the table. So yeah, I don't think that in the next years there will not be anything completely new from Switzerland.
Okay. Well, Daniel, we'll arrive to the sad moment of this interview. Thank you very much for your time. This new album is a great one. Congratulations on this one. And perhaps you want to add something to your Latin American fans that expect someday a full Latin American. Who knows? And obviously, Metalino followers.
Thank you very much for that interview and your interest in our new album and the band as a whole. And yeah, absolutely. We hope someday we can bring our sound to Latin America. Maybe not this year, but let's look what the future holds for us.